That's worth the big hell yeah right there, isn't it? How about that? How awesome. That's can't say enough good things about our players, the resiliency they had throughout the night, and just the way they fought. Things didn't go our way in the first half, and they came back and kept going at it. And thank you to everyone in that stadium tonight. There's so many people that make this thing go, and for everybody's efforts, Brett, Sup Dogs, everybody's efforts to sell those extra tickets in the stadium tonight, to get the students here, to get the students to the fourth quarter. And that was so special, and we had a little bit of a lull there in the second half. Look up there and you see those students kind of rallying, and that's the way our football team rallied in the fourth quarter and the second half there, and that was so special. One of our favorite sayings, one of my favorite sayings, it's not about you, it's not about me, it's not about I, it's about us. And us is just not that locker room. Us is Pirate Nation. Us is what we do together as a program, what we do together as a community, and what we do together as Pirates. And that's you can't have a better proof of that than tonight. And just the way we played down the stretch, and Peyton Mangrum makes a huge play that, he's kind of a backup guy, has a role all year, 4-core special teams, Mr. Do-It-All, and then didn't play a whole lot in the first half. Yannick goes down, and then his number's called, and he makes a heck of a catch there in the end of the game. And, Caton Hauser had a turnover before that drive, comes back, didn't phase him one bit, goes right down the field, puts us in the end zone to win the game. So, so many good things happening tonight, and such a huge game. And the Pirates are still going to wake up first place in the morning, tied for first place, and that's a pretty good feeling.
Were you surprised about the fact that students, the guys, took their shirts off? Is that a new tradition? You thinking about taking yours off?
I was thinking about taking my shirt off too, Brian. I thought if that would have helped, I would definitely taken it off and waving it around. That was awesome. I mean, that was I can't thank you to those students, how amazing they are, and just the way they rally together, and what a special place.
You guys have won a lot of games this year, but not one really like this where it came down to the final.
Yeah.
What does that show about you?
Yeah, I think you got 7 wins, and I think all of them are about double digits until tonight. And you need to win a close one, because you're a good football team, but until you win a close one, you become a great football team. And I think we did that tonight. And we didn't see one guy flinch out there. We got the ball at 2:30, maybe 2:39 on the clock, and even the defense, they had the turnover, holding to a field goal. And you're talking about a team that's 40 or 41 in the red zone, scores a bunch of touchdowns, and nobody flinched. Nobody hadn't been in that situation all year, and they just went right at it, went right to work, and ended up getting a win out of it.
Coach, on senior day, to be down at the half and down in the second half, what did it say about just the player leadership to come out there and be resilient?
We talked all week long about our preparation, and we respect Memphis, and they're a good football team and all those things, but really it's about our preparation, how we do things, our effort, our energy. We talked about that at halftime. Okay, we're one play away from being a 10-10 ball game, hadn't played our best football, but it really wasn't about Memphis. It was about how we go attack the second half, our effort, our energy, and just doing those things out, execute them.
Any word on Yannick's status going forward?
Yeah, he gets hurt early in the game and just couldn't finish it out. So we'll kind of reevaluate him tomorrow and kind of see where we're at there. So hopefully he bounces back pretty quick. Yannick's he's a tough kid, and always a positive kid. And I obviously miss him tonight at times, but we can't wait to get him back out there.
What was the conversation with Caton like after the fumble when he came off?
I believe in Caton. You don't have to get on Caton and have a conversation with him. He puts that thing behind him and goes right to work. My better conversation with Caton come off the field after the game, and I just hugged him up, and a bunch of those guys, and got a chance to hug him up, tell them I love him, appreciate him, and just so proud of him. And just
imagine guys in all 3 phases like Mike Wright, for him to come up with that interception to end the game, I don't know what it was.
I'm surprised Mike Wright's not in here asking questions. He will be soon. Mike Wright, Mr. Do-It-All, right? Just let the fight song in there. He punts tonight. He gets a pick tonight. He's a receiver. He's a running back. He's played quarterback for him. He does everything. And I say this about Mike, and we say it about a lot of people. Like, he's a really good football player, but he's an outstanding young man. And you get a chance to sit down and talk with him or hear him, you feel that, and it's not fake. It's real. And he's as good as there is. I really appreciate him. We discovered that about Wednesday. I'll be honest. Like, I don't think our punt game's been really good. Kind of hang it in the middle of the field, or we do this or do that. And I was like, hey, Mike. I said Mike and Anthony, because Anthony did punt in high school. I said, Mike, you punted? He said, yes. Anthony, you punted? He said, yes. So we got out there. Mike punts the first one. I said, Anthony, you don't even need to punt. Go back to the offensive field. And it's not pretty. I mean, it's a worm burner down there. It looks like my golf shot. Now, this looks way better than my golf shot. bunch of worm burner down through there, and it goes about 45 yards. Now, if somebody doesn't want to come rush the punt, and they don't, have the edges, then we'll just take off with Mike Wright. And that's, they kind of played safe defense, didn't get a return. And they obviously have a dangerous return man. I mean, Sutton Smith is a really good football player. He's returned a kick for a touchdown. He had the 86-yard run in the first half. He's back there returning punts. So just trying to keep the ball out of his hands. I'd put the ball in his hands a lot more if I was there.
Coach Zion just had a big game. I know for a fact he had at least one sack. Just talk about how his progression's been to where he started at till now.
Senior day for Zion Wilson, a guy that walks in this program as a walk-on and earned everything he's got. What our program is about is earning everything, and Zion Wilson's about that. Earns the right to be on money, earns the right to play playing time, earns the right to be a starter, earns the right to be making plays out there. And just so proud of him and just his resiliency. I mean, at one time we moved him to O-line. He moved him back. He's kind of been back and forth. And he certainly found a home this year and doing a really great job. I'm just super proud of him.
Coach, what about the program? How do you feel about the fact when the students in the crowd rush the field and the goalposts coming down, special moment for the Pirates?
Yeah, I saw those goalposts come down. Like, that's pretty special. It's just awesome. I mean, I can't say enough, put it into words of what this place is. And, just seeing those students come on the field, and, hey, that's who we are. Let's celebrate this thing. And I don't know how long it's been since we had a big win like that in Dowdy-Ficklin on senior day or in November, and have been in this situation in the conference. And we're certainly proud of it. We obviously got a big one next week down in at UTSA, who's, I think, 25-0 in conference play in the Dome. But tonight, we're going to celebrate this one, maybe even open a cold beer. I don't know.
Coach, in 10, 20 years, what do you think you're going to remember most about this year?
The young men and the way they fight for this university, the way they fight for Pirate Nation, and just the love they have for each other. They're such a joy to be around. Like when we go to dinner, and this is something simple, just you hear the noise and just them having a good time and laughing it up with each other, and that's just show you how much they enjoy each other, and that's what our team is about, and that's who we're about.
But just as far as the X's and O's are concerned, what was the chess match like with Lewis? You knew he was gimpy.
Yeah.
You didn't want to come after too much, I guess. What was that?
You think he's gimpy, then he takes off for about 30 yards down the middle of the field. I mean, he's a really good quarterback. I mean, Brendan Lewis is a ball player. I mean, been at third different school now and made a lot of plays, and probably threw it for over 2,500 yards now. Probably ran for about 800 now. But he's a ball player, and just trying to put pressure on him, but at the same time make sure you don't let him get out of the pocket and take off down the field. So you kind of had to pick and choose, and he did a good job. I mean, he really did. And at the end of the day, we found a way to make a play or two to get a stop. And I thought, beginning of the third quarter, we did a good job of some 3 and outs and getting the ball back to our offense and turning the tides there a little bit. But at the end of the game, just the red covers down there and making him move the pocket, and then those guys up front. You could get blocked, and start to move the pocket, and they give up on it. But those guys, JD, Zion, Josiah Robinson, Preston Carr, Raheem Craig, there's a bunch of seniors in that group too that's fighting their tails off on senior day, keep chasing the ball and keep playing great effort, and that was so awesome to see.
Coach Gary Logan, a lot more carries tonight. What went in that decision?
We just want to run the football. He just happened to be the guy in there. We're rotating those guys, London, Marlon, TJ, just kind of rotating those guys in there. And, he's doing a really good job fighting his tail off, and all 3 of them are, and just really proud of them and the way they developed as running backs throughout this season.
Coach, as you look at this conference, this is still a direct, like you said, but what does a win like this do the way you wanted to marry what you want? What does it do for you guys?
Well, I think it shows, there's a bunch of tiebreakers out there, and I don't study that crap, so all I worry about is the next game. All I worry about is, at this point, enjoying this one tonight and then beating UTSA, and that's all I'll ever worry about. And some tiebreakers go to the rankings. Well, I think a win like this shows us voters out there that shouldn't just be one vote in the top 25. There should be several. And, these guys beat USF, who was a top 25 team. They get beat today, by the way. Good. Somebody needs to, right? Somebody had to fall out of the first place there. But I don't mean like that, versus Golish or any of those guys. But, the USF was in the top 25. These guys been in the top 25. It's about who you beat. I mean, I know these guys a week ago were top 25. Now we beat basically a top 25 team. Yeah, they weren't this week, but they were last week. Right? They beat South Florida, who was in the top 25 this week. So what's that say about us and about our football team and what we can do moving forward? And we talk about playing your best football. Let's play our best football in November. It's the voters all always look at like, hey, sometimes what you had early in the season. But let's look later in the season when the football really matters, when conference championships really are on the line, and that's what it looks like, to me. And at the same time, I don't worry about all that crap. I worry about UTSA right now, and maybe going and popping a cold one right now. So appreciate you.